There's a kind of pain that does not announce itself loudly. It does not arrive with drama or noise. It arrives quietly, in the middle of an ordinary Tuesday, in the silence after a conversation ends, in the moment you realize something or someone is gone, and it pulls you to the ground. Not because you are weak, but because you are human. If you're watching this today and something inside you is hurting, this video is for you. Not to fix you, not to offer you shortcuts, but to sit with you and to tell you something that took the wisest human beings thousands of years to understand. Your pain is not a mistake. It is a doorway. When we are in pain, the kind that lingers in silence, the kind that follows us into sleep, we begin to question everything. Why me? What did I do wrong? Why does life feel so unfair? These questions feel like wounds, but they are not. They are the very first steps of a spiritual journey. Pain, more than pleasure, turns us inward. Pleasure distracts, pain directs. It strips away the noise, the busyness, the pretending, and leaves us alone with the most important question we will ever face. What is the truth of this life? His Holiness the 14th Dalai Lama has shared something that stays with me. It is often in times of intense suffering that people turn to spiritual practice. Pain opens the heart to truth. Not comfort, not success, not happiness. Pain. Because pain is honest. It does not let us hide. In Buddhist cosmology, there are many realms of existence. The realm of gods, the realm of demigods, the realm of animals, and the human realm. And of all these realms, Buddhism teaches that the human realm is the most precious. Not because it is the most pleasurable, but because it is the most balanced. In the realm of gods, there is too much joy. Beings there have no reason to reflect, no reason to question, no reason to seek. In the lower realms, there is too much suffering, so much that there is no space for wisdom to arise. But here, in this human life, there is just enough joy to appreciate life and just enough pain to question it. That balance is rare. That balance is sacred. Kyabje Dilgo Khyentse Rinpoche, one of the greatest Tibetan masters of the 20th century, taught, this precious human life, so difficult to obtain, is the only vessel capable of carrying us to liberation. You were born into exactly the right conditions to wake up. Your pain is part of those conditions. Pain strips away our defenses, pride, arrogance, the masks we wear, the stories we tell ourselves. When you are in deep emotional pain, something strange happens. Your thoughts slow down, your world narrows, and without choosing to, you become present, completely, unavoidably present. Even if that presence is painful, and in that stillness, a question arises. A question that changes everything. How can I end this suffering? That question, that single, desperate, honest question, is the beginning of Dharma. Pema Chodron, the beloved Buddhist teacher, writes something that I return to again and again. Nothing ever goes away until it has taught us what we need to know. Pain is not random. Pain is not punishment. Pain is a teacher that will keep returning until we are finally ready to listen. Have you ever noticed how certain kinds of pain keep returning? Different people, different circumstances, but somehow the same wound. Buddhism has a name for this: karmic imprints. These are patterns carried not just from this life, but from countless lifetimes before. They create tendencies. They attract similar circumstances. They repeat until we finally see them. If we move through life unconsciously, we simply act out these patterns. We react. We repeat. We wonder why nothing changes. But when pain becomes too overwhelming, too repetitive, something in us wakes up. We stop reacting and we start inquiring. That inquiry, that moment of awareness, is the core of Dharma. As the Dalai Lama reminds us, when something is missing in your life, it usually turns out to be someone you need to meet or something you need to learn. Nothing is wasted, not even the pain that keeps returning. When we suffer, our hearts crave one thing above all else: not answers, not explanations, healing. And this is where Dharma reveals its deepest nature. It does not offer escape, it offers understanding. Whether you turn to Tara, the mother of liberation, or to Chenrezig, the bodhisattva of compassion, or simply to the stillness of your own breath, something sacred opens. It is as if you have found your way home after being lost in a storm. You feel safe enough to finally weep, to be honest, to be vulnerable. This is not weakness. This is sacred surrender. Thich Nhat Hanh, the great Vietnamese Zen master, wrote, "Feelings come and go like clouds in a windy sky. Conscious breathing is my anchor." Dharma does not ask you to stop feeling. It asks you to feel fully, honestly, consciously, and to let your breath be the anchor that keeps you from being swept away. The emotions that once overwhelmed you become tools of transformation. Anger becomes insight. Sadness becomes compassion. Confusion becomes wisdom. Look around at the people who have truly committed to a spiritual path. Many of them arrived here through a breaking point, a betrayal, a loss, a career that collapsed, a relationship that ended, a moment where the life they had built simply stopped making sense. Often this happens in the late 20s or 30s. By then, the illusions have had time to form, and life has had time to break them. The Tibetan master Chogyam Trungpa Rinpoche spoke of what he called the genuine heart of sadness. the tender, unguarded place inside us that opens when we have been truly broken. He called it the birthplace of compassion, not a wound, a doorway. Your breaking point was never the end of your story. It was the moment your real story began. The next time pain arrives, and it will, instead of running from it, instead of drowning it in distraction, try asking it 3 questions. Slowly, honestly, without expecting immediate answers. The first, what is this pain teaching me? The second, where does it truly come from? The third, how have my own attachments or expectations contributed to this? Dharma asks us to sit with discomfort, to breathe through it, to observe it, not as an enemy, but as a messenger. Only then does the fog begin to lift. Only then does the heart begin to align with something deeper than pain, something that was always there, waiting quietly. Pain is not the end of your path, it is the beginning. When you are hurting, remember this. Your heart is most ready to awaken, not when life is easy, but when life has brought you to your knees. Do not resist what you feel. Embrace it, question it, learn from it. In that sacred dialogue between you and your pain, Dharma begins. You are not broken. You are opening, and there is an enormous difference.